going to have to digress because it's not comfortable for me, but I need to address an issue that's been very concerning to me and my family. And it originated in this room, and I'm not one to go online, and I'm not one to go to say negative comments online. So it happened here, I got to address it here. This is the only time that I'll be able to do this. I usually don't respond to personal slights or attacks when someone mischaracterizes my position. I usually let it go because I just don't want to bring the meeting down. I don't want to post any negative information online. I have faith in the people who know me and they can see through any lies or insults. But now I have family members, my daughter, brother, sister-in-law, the son, they're all part of the school district. Sending me screenshots of things that are being said that are completely false. And so I need to break from normal practice and address the lies that have been said about me. I realize that elected officials, we stand in the court of public opinion. And in today's world of social media being the platform for local news and neighborhood gossip, we all participate. And it becomes so easy for everybody to become judge and jury. It's unfortunate. We're in a society now where you're guilty until proven innocent. Just if someone says something. So at our last board meeting, Board Member Arguello had stated that I had taken campaign money from one of the vendors, specifically Mike Garner, and then also stated that Mike Garner had put me in the seat. So I want to make an admission. There were 3 people who put me in the seat. 3 people were Robert Bass, Allison Bass, and Betty Danke. Betty Danke is my dear friend. She's retired. She's my cohort. Christmas parade. I love her dearly. And she works part-time at Cunningham's Office Supply. She designed my sign. My daughter's favorite color. She said, we want this to be the color. We designed the sign, we ordered and we distributed it to friends and family. There were 3 of us running for the seat, for school board seats. Julius, and this is nothing disrespectful, Julius, but Julius did a great job. He raised $35,000. John raised $25,000. I raised a whopping $12,000. Now, could I have raised more? Absolutely. But I made it perfectly clear to everyone who was helping me and with my campaign that I wanted to remain this to be among friends, family, and maybe some business acquaintances that I've known for a very long time. So let me state for the record, let me be crystal clear with this. Either Mike Garner, his company, his wife, or any member of his family donated to my campaign. I never asked him for a donation. I didn't want to go down that path. He did not attend my kickoff event at Hastings Ranch. There's some of you that were at the kickoff at Hastings Ranch, and you can attest to that. He did not attend my watch party, which was held at Betty Danke's house. I have a copy of my treasurer's report from my campaign showing all of my contributions and all of my expenditures. And if anybody is free to review, and I'll be glad to give you a copy after the meeting. It doesn't take long to scroll through. So I do present Mr. Arguello misinforming the public and misleading the court in what appeared to be an attack on me. So part 2 of this is there was a letter sent, Mr. Arguello sent to the governor. Obviously, he was upset. I would be upset too. He sent a letter to the governor accusing me and others of pressuring him to support Superintendent Case while we were campaigning. Now I'm going to read verbatim from his letter so there's no confusion. The portion of the letter.
Is this the proper format for that?
Positive comments, just like you have your chance to speak, board members do as well.
I'm just reading, it won't take long. This is a quote from the letter. When I was running for school board, I received the same advice from several elected officials regarding being a school board member. Keep your mouth shut, do what the place says, and if you're good, you can pick 3 pet projects. Among elected officials who gave me this advice were also County Commissioner Ricky Booth, Pace's first cousin, State Representative Fred Hawkins, and disgraced former Representative Mike Garner. School board member Robert Bass gave me the same advice and said he was going to follow it.
True.
Each of those gave me another piece of advice. Quote, don't dare fire Dr. Pace.
True.
I'll read the last one. Each of those.
Mr. Bass, can I ask you to hold for a second, please?
Sure.
Board members, I will remind you that while we all did our board member comments, no one was interrupted, and I would ask you to please extend the same courtesy to board member Bass. Thank you.
Just acknowledging its truth.
Okay. The last sentence. Each of those gave me another piece of advice. Don't dare fire Dr. Pace. So let me give you a little a background. I was a political novice, meaning I've never run for political office. I assumed Mr. Arguello was the same. I had never heard of Mr. Arguello, but I reached out to him while we were campaigning. Like I said, I never heard, maybe he was new to the area, I just didn't know. We met for coffee one day, and we formed a cordial, a friendly relationship. I liked where he stood, I liked what he stood for. From that initial meeting, we exchanged many friendly conversations. I asked how his family was doing, he would reciprocate. His father passed away, I gave my condolences. We chit-chatted back and forth, how did your interview go, it was as cordial as you would having a conversation with any of your friends or family members. So, I want to read just an excerpt of our conversation that took place less than a month from the election. It's just a text message between he and I, less than a month before election. I'm going to start off, this is me saying this. John, I really hope you can pull this off. I really would like to see our district move to that next level to an A. I remember you telling me you wanted to know how the schools are graded and what the grades are based on the simple measure. I don't have an answer to that, but it would be a good feather in our hats if we could get this district to an A under our leadership. We're so close now. John's reply, he said, yeah, me too. I'm working hard. I think mitigating the educational losses is going to be a huge challenge. People are worried about the board firing Deborah Pace, but I think that would be suicide considering the challenges that we're going through in the next few years in terms of budgeting and safety concern. My reply, I hope you have the opportunity to get to know her better. She has devoted her entire life to this profession and works harder than anyone I know. John's reply was, I've only heard good things, so why is everyone so worried about the board getting rid of her? My reply, I have not heard that. I do remember watching an interview with your opponent, and somewhere in the interview he said he didn't think she was doing a good job, but you really have to understand the process before you start criticizing. John's reply is, I don't think that guy knows half of what he talks about, and I don't think the community wants to hear the school board member's intention is to get someone fired in District 3 or anywhere else. After that, we talked about real estate and just idle chit-chat. But as this exchange will show you, I did not pressure Mr. Clay about supporting Superintendent Pace. He's the one who brought it up. He brought up the topic and was presenting support for Dr. Pace. So in short, his statement to the governor stating that I said, don't dare fire Dr. Pace was a lie. And I can't assume that any of the other claims he makes in the letter are accurate, but he's going to be the judge. Madam Chair, that's all I have to say. I had to get that out. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Bass.